You are a lead engineer or a DevOps architect. You have been tasked with choosing a platform for your team. You search for comparisons, and you find marketing fluff about open source versus enterprise features. This is a trap. If you pick the wrong platform, you will spend your next 2 years fighting tool sprawl or battling restrictive workflows. Today, we are going to look past the marketing and examine how these platforms actually function under the hood so you can make a choice that lasts. This is the definitive guide to choosing between GitHub and GitLab, tailored for professionals who need to build, secure, and ship software at scale. We will start by defining the core philosophy of each tool. Then, we will dive into the technical architecture of their pipelines. We will cover the reality of managing security at scale, how these platforms handle self-hosting, and finally, I will give you the specific decision framework you need to pick the right one for your organization. The real problem is not which site looks cleaner. It is the hidden cost of integration. If you choose a platform that requires 6 third-party plugins to reach feature parity, you are signing up for a maintenance nightmare. Every time an API changes or a plugin version is deprecated, your entire deployment pipeline is at risk. You need a platform that matches your team's ability to maintain their own infrastructure. Think of GitHub like an iPhone. It is clean, user-friendly, and has an incredible app store. If you need a specific tool, you download an action. It is highly flexible, but it relies on external developers to keep those pieces working. Think of GitLab like a Swiss Army knife. It is a single, integrated block of metal. It comes with the blade, the scissors, and the screwdriver already attached. It might be heavier and harder to learn, but you do not need to hunt for accessories when you are in the middle of a forest. This diagram shows the core execution flow. In GitHub, the event-driven architecture triggers workflows that often reach out to external services in the marketplace. In GitLab, the pipeline is a native component of the platform, meaning your security scans and container registry are part of the same data plane. This architecture is why GitLab feels more integrated and GitHub feels more extensible. This is a standard GitHub action. Notice the use of actions or checkout. You are essentially pulling in a third-party dependency for your build process. This is the GitHub way, modular, readable, and community-driven. It is incredibly easy to set up, which is why developers love it. When this runs, you see the output directly in the GitHub UI. It is fast, and because GitHub maintains the runner infrastructure, you rarely have to worry about the underlying server health. This is the best-of-breed model in action. Now compare that to GitLab. We are not just running a test. We are including a template for security. In GitLab, the security scanner is a first-class citizen provided by the platform itself. You do not need to search the marketplace for a SCSD scanner. It is already there, ready to be enabled with one line of code. The output shows the security scan running as part of the pipeline. Because it is native, the report is automatically parsed and displayed in the GitLab dashboard. This is the all-in-one value proposition. It is a powerful tool for security teams who need auditability without managing external scanner integrations. A senior engineer writing this in production is thinking about idempotency and environment tracking. In GitLab, environment management is built in. This code snippet ensures that only commits to the main branch trigger a production deployment. It also tags the Docker image with the commit hash, which is critical for traceability when you have to roll back a release at 3 in the morning. In a real-world scenario, I worked with a fintech firm that was drowning in technical debt. They were using GitHub with dozens of separate security integrations. The administrative burden of keeping those plugins updated was causing drift. They moved to GitLab specifically for the built-in security features. The result was a 94% improvement in deployment frequency because they stopped waiting for cross-tool sync issues to resolve. The most common mistake I see with GitLab is the Docker and Docker permission error. You see a permission denied message when the runner tries to build an image. This happens because the runner does not have access to the host's Docker socket. The fix is enabling privileged mode, but be careful, this is a security trade-off you must understand before applying to a shared runner. First, in GitHub, never use the latest tag for your actions. If a maintainer updates their code, your pipeline could break without warning. Always pin your actions to a specific SHA. Second, in GitLab, do not put your entire pipeline in one YAML file. Use include statements to modularize your code. Third, and most importantly, do not underestimate the cost of self-hosting. If you do not have a dedicated SRE to manage your GitLab instance, use the SaaS version. Use GitHub when you want to move fast and leverage the best tools available in the open ecosystem. It is perfect for teams that value developer experience above all else. Use GitLab when you are in a highly regulated industry like healthcare or finance, or when your security team requires a single pane of glass for all compliance data. It is the platform for teams that need control and integration over extreme flexibility. The numbers speak for themselves. Elite DevOps teams using integrated platforms see a 6,500% faster recovery from failures compared to teams with fragmented tool chains. By choosing the right platform, you are not just picking a website. You are choosing the velocity of your entire engineering organization. Always pin your action versions to prevent silent failures. Break your CI pipelines into modular components so they are easier to maintain as your project grows. Audit your security requirements before picking a tool, because retrofitting security is expensive. Remember that self-hosting a platform is a full-time job for a sysadmin, so be honest about your team's capacity. Finally, prioritize the long-term health of your toolchain over the speed of your first commit. If you found this breakdown useful, join our WhatsApp community for more practical tutorials every week. We discuss real-world infrastructure problems and share the solutions that work in production. Thanks for watching. This channel is dedicated to providing knowledgeable content for IT professionals building their skills in Linux, cloud, DevOps, Python, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Subscribe to stay sharp, and I will see you in the next one.